What's going on, y'all? I hope everybody out there is feeling fantastic. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about this sad and unfortunate story. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have heard the news that Malcom-Jamal Warner passed away on Sunday in Costa Rica. They're saying that he got caught up in a rip current and unfortunately he got washed away and he ended up drowning. And this is just a sad situation. It affected me so much yesterday that it tore up my whole day. I'm not even going to lie. And it's just amazing the effect that people you never met before can have on you, but they were so essential to your childhood, right? Now, the outpour of people sending their love and condolences to Malcolm's family and abroad, coupled with the infiltration of devastation that has set in all over social media, it's just shocking and heartbreaking to say the least, because no one can believe that this happened to this brother. And in my estimation, 54 is relatively young, but he does leave behind a wife and a young daughter. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know that some people may disagree, and that's your prerogative, right? We all have a difference in opinion. And yesterday when the news dropped that Malcolm had passed away, I kind of cringed when people were saying, "Oh no, Theo." His name is Malcom-Jamal Warner. Theo was just a role. I understand it's an iconic role, don't get me wrong, but when I posted this horrific news on my Instagram page on yesterday, I never thought about bringing up Theo. I understand people are going to say, "Oh man, not Theo." I understand that, but in that time, it's just something within inside of me is like, yo, respect this brother to the highest power. His name is Malcom-Jamal Warner. Theo is a character. This is a real human being here. You know what I'm saying? And he should be respected as such. That's just my position on that. And quite frankly, I think just judging by the multitude of interviews that I've seen Malcolm do, that I believe that he would want to be remembered as Malcom-Jamal Warner over Theo from the Cosby Show. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. It's always going to be a part of his history and things of that nature, but I just feel the need to respect his government name over a character that he played on a show. And just to give clearer context to where I'm coming from, there were so many people that were just posting pictures of Malcolm and they were just like, Theo is dead. I just didn't like that, guys. It rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, what I want to do right here is insert some clips of Bill Cosby actually talking about the situation, the unfortunate passing of Malcolm. And I'm also going to insert a clip of someone talking in depth in regards to what happened to Malcolm when he was out there swimming and things like that. And this could be educational for people who don't know what rip currents are. And the next time you're in the ocean, you basically can have a little bit of knowledge how to maybe survive a rip current. And so the Costa Rica rip currents are said to be one of the most dangerous, some of the most dangerous in the world. And so it's unfortunate that that brother got caught out there like that. But anyway, I'm going to insert the clips here and then I'll be back.
Opportunity to meet him as you did. We remember, that scene where you said, "I brought you into this world, I can take you out." Knowing him, how will you remember him?
Like Ennis. Truthful, and he knew when to just walk away from a conversation without being rude. Malcolm did his best. He was always a great studier, and I enjoyed working with him very much.
You all have not spoken for a while, right?
No, that's not true. Malcolm calls here regularly. Okay. And my reputation with him is he doesn't need to talk. He needs to listen.
Okay.
Well, that's not true at all, but I just have information to give to him in the belief that my Cosby grandfather gave information, and I always thought that that's the kind of grandfather I would be. He was very professional. 54 years old, and always studied, always knew his part. He would have been one of Spencer Tracy's favorite actors. He never bumped into the furniture. He always knew his lines, and he always knew where to go.
I wanted to make sure I had an opportunity to talk to you about Malcom-Jamal Warner. What do you want people to remember about him?
He was never afraid to go to his room and study. He knew his lines, and that he was quite comfortable even with the growing pains of being a teenager.
When's the last time you spoke to him?
3 months ago. What we talked about was something he was very proud of. He had done a concert in Minnesota with the symphony, and there was something he had written, but he was very proud of what he had done and what he had said, and it was about living in America.
Have you spoken to Miss Felicia Rashad? Have you guys talked about this?
Yes, we have. And we were embracing each other over the phone about a dearly beloved friend.
I am bummed by this Malcom-Jamal Warner news for a lot of reasons. One, it's hard to have a good memory of the Cosby Show these days, but Malcom-Jamal Warner always felt like the older brother I wish I had growing up, in the sense that he was cool but not perfect, but also helpful to his younger siblings. And it's a bummer, but it's also a bummer for a bigger reason, which is it's yet another death as a result of Rip Current or Riptide. Shad Gaspard died trying to save his son, which he did. He actually saved his son's life a few years back. And a personal friend of mine, who I won't name, but he was vacationing in Mexico, was caught in a Rip Current, drowned, died. And it's, to me, it feels like it's responsibility of people who surf, people who bodyboard, people who body surf, anybody who is who does anything in the ocean, to kind of just share and just remind people again of what to do if you're caught in a rip current, or even like what rip current or riptide is. Most people don't even know like how to recognize it. So I don't have visuals. I'm not that good at TikTok, believe it or not. So I'm not going to do any cool like map and stuff. So just hear me out. When a wave comes and crashes on shore, that water has to get sucked back out into the ocean. That sucking back out into the ocean is what we call the rip current. It is the current going back into the ocean. And it's not one-to-one. So if it's coming out this way, it doesn't go back the same way because another wave is coming forward. So in between wave sets is where the rip current is. So basically imagine like a tiny opening and all this force going this way, but a tiny opening for all that for an equal amount of mass to kind of go back. It's a high pressure system and it'll shoot you out to sea. For surfers and bodyboarders, it can be our best friend because it's how we actually paddle out to the backside of or to the outside of the wave so we can catch waves. But if you're not used to it, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know what you're in it, it can be lethal, as we're constantly reminded of. Because what happens is people will swim out in the ocean and they think they're having a great time, and then all of a sudden they're trying to swim to shore and they can't. And worst case, they get stuck in what we call the impact zone or the drop zone of an ocean, where a wave crashes on top of them. They're trying to swim out, but the rip current is keeping them effectively pinned in a drop zone of a wave. So what to do? It can be a best friend for a surfer because we know to use the rip current to paddle out to there's the inside, the outside, and the backside of a wave, right? So we use the rip current to paddle to the outside of the wave so we can be in position to catch it. But what we do is we swim out and then we go parallel to the shore to catch the wave in a specific spot. And if you're caught in a rip current, do not try to swim to shore. If you find yourself unable to swim to shore because you feel the wave catching towards you, or even worse, if you're underwater and you find yourself stuck, swim parallel to shore. You have to open your eyes, swim parallel to shore, and just go that way. You will face zero resistance going parallel unless there's some crazy like south by south or southwest wind or something like that. But just swim close to shore or parallel to shore, pop your head up, and I swear, just 25 yards tops, 20 yards, you'll be out of the rip current and you'll be able to take the wave energy back to shore and be safe. So again, whether you're above water or, heaven forbid, below water, stay calm and remember to swim parallel, catch a wave back in, or at least use the wave's energy to bring you to shore. It will literally save your life. And I wish it had saved Malcolm's.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. And again, this is just a very unfortunate situation. I do want to send my condolences to Malcom-Jamal Warner. the Cosby Show family, his immediate family, his mom, Pamela Warner, and his father, Robert Warner Jr. I know that everybody is going through it right now. And listen, this is just really, really crazy. I mean, it makes you question, is there a God? Because there are so many people that walk around here and do treacherous things on a day-to-day basis, and they live well into their 90s and almost 100 sometimes. But I know that there is a God, and I'm not going to lose total faith. I know that he has his reasons, but this is just sad. So I'm going to let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about all of this. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.